Welcome students for our English session. I am Jennifer here. Today in this session we are going to learn a poem called On Children written by Khalil Gibran. He is a Lebanese American poet and his poems are called as poetic essays. His well-known work is called The Prophet. His well-known work, The Prophet. It is translated into more than 25 languages. Our poem On Children also is a selection from this work. Now let me tell you who is Prophet. Prophet is one who looks and lives as a human being but has contact with a divine power. And it is believed that whatever the message that they are saying or preaching is an inspiration of God. Now let us move on to the poem. This poem is a very interesting and important poem, not only for exam and also for your life. Dear students, I will tell you one thing, that when you become parents, really it will be helpful. And if your parents have time right now, ask them to sit with you, learn with you and discuss with you. It will be more interesting. For your thinking, I just want to ask two questions. First question, what is your parents' expectation from you? They may expect you to study well. They may expect you to listen their words. They may expect you to become doctor, engineer, IAS, IPS, etc. Okay. Now, the second question. What is your expectation from your parents? Yes, of course, they love you. Whether you expect or you don't expect, they love you because they are parents. You may expect them to give you freedom. Yes, no one can give us freedom. To say in a simple way, you may want to think freely, speak freely, act freely without the influence of your parents. Yes or no? Yes. Now, I'll tell you one thing, that no one can make us happy except ourselves. In the same way, no one can hurt us except our own expectation. When we are in suffering, difficulties, instead of blaming others for disappointing us, we need to blame ourselves for expecting more from them. You may be thinking, why this ma'am talking more about expectation? When we go into this poem, when we start to learn this poem, you will come to know why I am talking about this expectation. Now, I am going to read the whole poem here. On Children. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Now let us learn line by line. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." Our poet Khalil Gibran imagines the prophet called El Mustafa. He says that a woman holding her babe against her bosom, she goes to this prophet El Mustafa and gets his blessing and asks him to speak about children. We usually go to great people like priests to get their blessings, and we will be eagerly waiting to hear the words about us in the same way, with same eagerness. Holding her babe, she goes and asks the prophet to speak about children. And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself." He is telling to that woman that your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. He is telling, your children are not your children. Therefore, don't boost yourself and don't think that they belong to you alone. They belong to life itself. He is telling, your children are not only belong to you, instead they belong to life itself. They come through you but not from you. Yes, he's telling that Creator has created them. You didn't create them. The Creator has created them. He used you as an instrument, as a messenger to bring the child to the world. You are just an instrument. You didn't create them. Therefore, don't boast yourself that you have created them. You didn't create them. Creator had used you as an instrument. So, your child came through you, not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. Yes, you have given birth to them. Therefore, they are with you. But don't think that they belong to you. They belong to the Creator. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. As I said before, since your parents, you may love them unconditionally, but don't try to impose your thoughts into them. It will not work out. You may love them unconditionally, whether they expect or they don't expect. Since they are your children, you may love them unconditionally, but don't think them or don't try to impose them your thoughts. For they have their own thoughts. Creator has created them. He has given them the brain to think. So don't try to impose your thoughts. You may house their bodies but not their souls. He is telling that parents, you may house their soul. You may ask your child to be at home. You may ask your child to be with you lifelong. But you can't house their souls. I will tell you a simple example. Children, you may ask your parents that, "Ma, shall I go and play with my friends? They are playing cricket," like that. What your mother says? "This is not time to play. This is the time to study." So no other way. You will be asking again and again, but nothing will work out. So by force, you may go and sit in the room, open your book and looking at that. Whether will you study? No. Your mind will be in cricket ground. The same way. I'm telling, the parents can't even control the minds of their children. But how they can control the soul of their children? It is not. It is not possible. They can house their body, house their children's bodies, but they can't house their soul. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. The poet is telling, the prophet is telling that through, a poet is telling through prophet that parents are belong to past, yesterday, but children are belong to future, tomorrow. So the parents can't even imagine how the future will be of their children. They can expect them to become someone, but they can't even imagine how the future will be. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. You may struggling very lot. You may take many effort to be like them or to be the way they want you to be. But you can't expect your children to be like you. It will not happen. You may, since you are parents, you are loving them unconditionally, you may struggle a lot to be like them. But don't expect your children to be like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. Is telling that life doesn't go backward or doesn't stay there, stay there, doesn't stay there. Instead, it goes front, it forwards. So you will be like them. You will try very hard to be like them. They will not be like you. For life doesn't go backward or doesn't stay there. Instead, it goes front, it forwards. You are the bows from which your children are as living arrows are sent forth. Just look at the metaphor which he used. It is really amazing. He compares parents with the bow and children with the arrow. Okay, he says that parents are like bow, children are like arrow. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. You are bows, you will be staying in one place, but the arrow goes very far, it goes front. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his mind that his arrows may go swift and far. Parents, if the bow stays in one place and bends only, the arrow can go further and very fast. The same way, the parents are struggling a lot to make their children to flourish, blossom. He sees, the archer, the creator sees you and he bends you in order to send the arrow very far, in order to make your children blossom, flourish. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. Be happy about your struggle. He is telling to the parents that be happy about your struggle because Creator is with you. He sees you struggling in order to make your children to achieve their goal. Your struggle doesn't go in vain. You are struggling for making your children to achieve their goal. The Creator sees you and He is happy. So be happy about your struggling. For even as He loves the arrow that flies, so He loves also the bow that is stable. He's telling them, if their bows will be in one place, if the bow is in one place only, the arrow can go fast. The bow bends only, the arrow can go fast and further. So this bow doesn't go. It's stable. It stays in one place. Then only the arrow can go further and fast. So parents, they are in one place struggling a lot to make their children to achieve their goal. The Creator sees the arrow, sees the children flourishing, blossoming, and He is very happy. He loves them. In the same way, He looks at you struggling a lot. He also loves you. I hope you understood this poem. At last I want to tell you, parents, that don't expect more from your children because expectation hurts us. Children, be grateful to your parents. Thank you.